Tucker Carlson is, for some reason I can't understand, getting a lot of credit for questioning American capitalism and questioning the ruling class. And look, I've had people on for Media Matters. We've broken down how that's a gigantic hoax. But it becomes even more clear how shallow his newfound criticisms of American capitalism are when you listen to him talk about capitalism on his show. So I want to show you a little bit of his show, and he's on with Jonathan Harris, who's actually been on TYT. Jonathan Harris lays out some of the sort of baked-in issues with American capitalism, and Tucker Carlson comes so close to understanding what's really going on. Let's take a look.
If I'm an employer, would I rather hire you, who's a college-educated American, and pay you enough to live? Or would I rather hire someone who's used to making $3 a day and then just encourage him to go on food stamps and get housing vouchers, which is what we do?
Well, again, that's capitalism in this country. They do that with Walmart does that with their workers. All companies do that with their workers. Really? They pay them the bare minimum, and then we get stuff.
Why is it capitalism to offload my labor costs onto U.S. taxpayers without telling them? That's not capitalism. That's a criminal scam.
That's the way that our system works.
But that's not capitalism.
But how many companies pay workers? Amazon, McDonald's, all these companies that pay their workers far less, and then they have to go get government assistance, and we pay for it.
I'm very aware. We've done many segments on this show.
Illegal immigrants.
So I guess it's not just illegal immigrants. You're absolutely right. They make it much worse though by flooding the labor market at the lower end, and they lower the price of labor because businesses can do this because people will work for less. My question though, this is all supply and demand, Econ 101.
By the way, really fast. So I disagree with Jonathan Harris on some things having to do with, like who should win the Democratic primary and stuff like that. But sometimes, I mean, look, he's a good guy, and sometimes he's just, like, the face he makes at Tucker is how America looks at Tucker's show. It's, what are you talking about? And so, look, the main thing that I want to focus on is Tucker's assertion that what he's describing, so he understands the issue, apparently. Most Republicans won't acknowledge this. He at least will acknowledge that many of the biggest, most profitable corporations in the history of our planet have gotten that way in recent years by offloading costs that should be theirs onto American taxpayers. So we talk about that in the case of Walmart a lot, but it's true of Amazon, it's true of a number of other corporations where they pay them just enough that they don't starve to death, thanks to the American taxpayer subsidizing their life in a number of different ways so that we don't have people dying across the country. Tucker Carlson seems to acknowledge that that's going on, but he says that that's not actually an indictment of capitalism. It's not actually an indictment of American capitalism in particular. It's a criminal scam. But here's the thing, ding dong, it's not criminal whatsoever. It is 100% legal to do this. And this is only the most obvious, most transparent way that they do this. There are others. There are externalities where there are costs that there's every reason that, for instance, fossil fuel companies should be paying for the fact that, as we're going to be talking about later on the show, they are killing literally millions of people around the globe every year thanks to respiratory illnesses that are a baked-in cost to the product that they sell. But they don't pay for that. ExxonMobil doesn't pay for someone's medical care, on the other side of the globe, but somebody pays for it. And in some cases, in our country, it's our taxpayers. In some cases, it's Chinese taxpayers or taxpayers in Mozambique or wherever. They are paying for those companies to make slightly higher profits. And in none of these cases, at least right now, is this even remotely illegal. It's certainly unethical once you get people to actually think about it, but it is not illegal at all. That's how it works. And it's not some weird random ripple effect or development. This is a product of lobbying for decades. They have bought politicians to pass laws to make it so that this system can maintain itself the way it is right now. And for Tucker Carlson, a guy who, first of all, works for a massive corporation, himself is the benefactor of generational wealth on an order of magnitude beyond anything I can even imagine. For him to pretend that he doesn't get this is certainly beneficial to him in trying to maintain his position as this sort of faux populist, sure, but it is laughable. For him to say that, oh no, that doesn't really say anything about capitalism whatsoever. We don't need any actual structural changes to capitalism. That's just this thing, this criminal scam, which is not just ignorant, but by itself should be the death knell for the idea that he is an actual serious critic of American capitalism. Because what does he retreat to there? When a very obvious, solvable problem is identified, he retreats to, don't do anything about American capitalism. So he wants to pretend that he's the guy that recognizes what the elites are doing in media and in politics and in the economy and all of that. But at the end of the day, he is still there to maintain the status quo. That is I guess the shell game that he's playing with the American public and with his viewers in particular. At the end of the day, the funny thing is, it's not like he's screwing over leftists. He's not screwing over progressives. They're not watching his show anyway. The only reason I see any of it is because of the good people at Media Matters. He's screwing over conservatives by trying to redirect them from a much-needed, long-awaited reanalysis of American capitalism, of the interaction between American capitalists and American politicians, and trying to get them to instead just tread water, don't actually do anything. Okay, maybe you finally acknowledge that there are problems, but don't actually question any of it. Don't actually push for anything. Whereas off on the other side, as they're being distracted by Tucker Carlson, there are people like Bernie Sanders and other progressive politicians who are actually trying to fix these problems, not just pretend that they acknowledge them while benefiting massively economically to not do anything about it. So great job there by Jonathan Harris, and Tucker Carlson, a joke as always.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.